Hi, friends, and welcome to the Human Thrive podcast. So, I'm your host, Amanda, and a coaching consultant and founder of Neurodivergent Thrive Coaching. So, this is a space where we tell the truth about what it means to show up and live fully human lives, even when it's hard, and especially when it's hard. So, today's episode is one of the most personal and honestly one of the hardest topics I've ever spoken about publicly, because I want to talk about something that isn't often shared, or maybe it is now, actually. I come to think about, maybe it is on TikTok now. But let's talk about it. Yeah, let's talk about it without shame and without judgment. And that is, how do you thrive when your beautiful autistic child with severe learning difficulties, is beating you up every day? So let's name the truth. Let's just name it. Some parents live in homes where they're regularly hurt by their child that they love more than life itself. It's not a reflection of bad parenting. It's not a reflection of a violent child. It's a complex disability. It is distressed behaviour. And families that are surviving in the margins of the system. And if this is your reality, please hear me. You're not broken, you're not failing, and you're not alone. Well, you probably feel like you're alone, and likely you are alone in that moment. But there's others. Unfortunately, they don't get to meet up much. But it's not challenging behaviour, it's a cry for help. And all aggression is communication. And for her children who can't tell us what's wrong, who may have not be able to communicate verbally, and they can't express what is going on for them. Yeah, so you can feel isolated, and you're living a life that would break most people, and you're still going, you're still showing up, you're still loving your child, but you feel small, invisible, and less than. And this time of year, people are going on holiday, and you can't even get to the shop because you're worried about your child having a meltdown. Yeah, it's tough. But yeah. Yeah. So sitting scrolling through your phone, looking at another holiday post, seeing sunshine, laughter, kids in the pool, parents having cocktails. Someone's off to Spain, someone's off to Portugal, or even just a weekend in a hotel somewhere with white sheets and peace and quiet. And you're sitting wondering, when was the last time you could even go to the shop without a military level strategy? And it's not jealousy, it's something deeper. It's a grief for the version of the life that you didn't get to live. Because while they're packing their bags and passports, you're packing spare clothes, chew toys, melatonin, sensory pack, nappies for your 5-year-old, bracing for the meltdown before you've even left the house. And let's be real, sometimes you don't even get to leave the house because your child is distressed. And you can't get a babysitter. No one wants to watch them. I have my amazing niece, but most people don't have that. And people are actually afraid of your own child. And you're afraid of your own child. And people are afraid of your child. The voice inside your head is whispering, no one sees me. No one sees how hard this is. And if they do, they don't understand or care. And it's easy to fall into the victim mentality, feeling sorry for yourself, because let's face it, we're human, and sometimes we do feel sorry for ourselves, especially when we see others. You're like, I want that to be me. I want that to be my life. And you're stuck at home getting beat up by your 5-year-old, and other people are on holiday. I'm like, I want to be on holiday. I want to be sitting by the pool. I want to be playing in the pool. I want to not worry that my child's going to start beating me or get distressed or need to go home. But yeah, so when everyone's going on holiday and you can't get to the shop, it's tricky. My 5-year-old, who's autistic with severe learning difficulties, has been beating me so much this week, and I'm covered in bruises and crying every day, and then having to get up and put on your happy face and look after others and coach others. And usually the things that I'm saying to people about, like, on working on your mindset and stuff, can sometimes feel a bit trivial and a bit tough, and you get real tunnel vision, and you're like, right, I have all these tools and strategies, but in this moment, I'm just surviving. So how can I teach others to thrive in this moment? But there's glimmers of hope, and yeah, what else can you do but be positive and look for the glimmers? So, yeah, when other people don't get it and you're like, oh, we'll grow out of it. Have you tried yoga? I saw TikTok on autism as a superpower. And there's me setting up a positive neurodivergent thrive coaching and let's do all this positive things. But sometimes it's a struggle and you want it to go away. And these are the unseen challenges that, yes, I'm always going to promote the positive and I'm always going to, focus on people's strengths and stuff. But sometimes the bits that aren't the strengths are challenging. And sometimes even a human thrive coach can sometimes fall victim to being human and feeling a wee bit sorry for herself. And I wasn't sure whether I should admit that or not. And then I thought, do you know what? I need to, because this is exactly what we can have all the tools. But sometimes, no matter what you have, you're going to feel sorry for yourself and you're going to be in a slump or be in a rut, and that's going to be a cycle of life. So just because you're having feelings like that doesn't mean that you're failing. It means that you're human, and having the tools can certainly help you and come out of it quicker. But sometimes that's where you will go, and that's okay. So much as I didn't want to admit that, and I wanted to keep up my front and keep up my mask and my happy face, I felt it was important to share it, and especially if I wanted to keep the podcast going. And I actually felt like I'm not thriving at the minute. How can I go on and talk about this? So then I thought, I'm just going to be genuine, honest, and go, yeah, this is how I'm feeling at the minute. But these are the things I'm going to do to help and support myself and my family. So what am I going to do? Yeah, well, exercise for me is a big one. Everything feels better when you get some exercise. So physical exercise. Oh, and I actually had to get a gym made in my garage because I wasn't able to get out to the gym anymore because of my little boy. And I was going to classes in the mornings, which weightlifting classes, and I absolutely loved. And then he was waking up without me and having meltdowns. So they stopped. And I do miss them. But I've had to build in workouts in the house and workouts in my gym in the garage, which is harder than going to class. But I've had to adapt to what works and what I can be there for my wee boy who needs me. And yeah, so my little boy has been very dysregulated this week. I don't know, is there a funny moon this week or what is going on with him? Or I think he might be getting his big adult back teeth. So yeah, he's been very dysregulated this week, hitting out a lot. And when he's been hitting me, I've just been into like survival mode. I'm bracing myself, trying to keep him safe, stop him from hurting me too much. And you're asking, why is this happening? Why won't this stop? And in that moment of panic, it's like hard to see a way out, and you start worrying about the future and what he's going to be like when he's 6 foot something. So I've had to take a pause and lean into this and just understand what's going on beneath the surface. So what is he trying to communicate right now? If he's getting his back teeth, we give him, the first thing we do is give him Calpol. Is he sore? And aggression is rarely about a defiance. It's often overwhelm, frustration, sensory pain, a basic need unmet, hunger, thirst, tiredness, feeling unsafe or out of control. And you're the safe place. You're the safe place for all the frustration to come out on. And sometimes that means he's hitting you, and then the next minute he's hugging you, and it's like being in an abusive relationship, but with someone that you can't leave. And yeah, but also you're looking after him, so it's very difficult. And when everybody else is packing their bags and passports, you're packing spare clothes, chew toys, nappies for your 5-year-old, and bracing for a meltdown. And sometimes you don't even get to leave the house, and your child's distressed. You've got no one who wants to watch a child who's going to bite and headbutt and bang their head off the ground and is so unpredictable. And it can feel very, very lonely. And the worst thing is, there's other parents going through the same, but they don't get to meet up because their child can't leave the house sometimes. Or if they go out somewhere, so you don't know if you're going to get staying or not. So anyway, the coaching reframe is you're living a life that would break most people, and you're still going, you're still showing up, and you're still loving your child. And it's not small, it's not invisible, and it doesn't mean you're less. It's a different type of holiday, and one where there's no postcards, and no cocktails, unfortunately. So what would a tiny moment of freedom look like today? A hot drink, time to drink a tea, putting a song on. Sometimes I listened to The Cure this morning, and sometimes I just have to put a song, like music on that I enjoy and to make you feel good. Sometimes that's the respite, is listening to a song. And it's not just about a holiday, it's what it represents, the freedom, the rest, a break. And when you're parenting an autistic child with severe learning difficulties, sometimes you're not just housebound, you're like world bound. Your world becomes tiny. You know, home, care, routine, survival. It's like a grief for the version of the life that you imagined, and yet you're still showing up, loving your child fiercely, carrying on, and you're watching the world holiday away while you hold the weight of 1,000 invisible things. And yeah, you're running a different race than one that no one else trained for, one that you didn't train for. So take the moment today, walk around the garden, a hot cup of tea, and this is your version of thriving, and that matters. I'm going to get some exercise. I'm going to go for a run. My little boy is at summer scheme. Hopefully he's getting on okay. I'm going to make sure I get some exercise and some meditating and be ready for him coming home, because it could be that he's very tired after being out all day. He could come home in a good mood. Who knows? It's very unpredictable. He could be overstimulated. He could be hitting out, but I'm going to try and get him outside and get him out in his bare feet. So for some grounding. Yeah. And we just don't know what way he's going to be. So yeah, it's hard when you're in that moment, but yeah. So when this behavior happens, when Jackson is hitting out, and we're looking at, did he have too much stimulation, a sleep disruption, a seemingly small change in his environment? Is he just tired? Is he just tired in the middle of the day? Is he hungry? And yeah, many of the traditional behavior strategies skip straight to like correction, like stop that, don't hit. But for our kids, it's connection and co-regulating. So, and I know Jackson understands what I'm saying, even though he doesn't speak. And so I'm just telling him, that I do use gentle parenting with him sometimes. Like, I can see you're upset. What am I going to do to help you? And offer suggestions. Sometimes he just needs space, and if I breathe slowly and let him hopefully mirror me, sometimes I'll use, and he will join in, and it helps to calm his nervous system. So sometimes it's just space. I just need to give him space when he comes home, especially. Get him out in the garden, give him some space. So hopefully he's going to come home well today. Yeah, I wanted to talk about this, and I don't know. I don't even know what's helping other people, but just knowing that there's others, and that we're constantly looking for ways to survive and thrive. And we can teach our kids breathing techniques and things to regulate themselves, getting them outside when they're bare feet, exercise. And I suppose when they're in that moment of a meltdown, that's not when you're going to be teaching them. You need to teach them other times and hope that they can tap into them in that distress state. Sometimes it just doesn't work. Sometimes we're going to feel sorry for ourselves. Some days we're going to be just hating your life. And obviously, if you're really feeling like that, please seek support. And there's lots of services out there. Talk to someone. But it's okay. It's okay to some days feel like that. We're just trying not to stay there. And we're trying to remember that our children are stressed too. And hopefully we can do something with them to help them regulate. So I love to hear from others in the same situation. If you have a beautiful autistic child with severe learning difficulties who hits you and you need some advice on anything, or just the chat, or some coaching tips for yourself, get in touch and share your stories with me. And you can do that privately. I don't mean you have to come on and talk, but unless you want to. But thank you for listening, and I appreciate each and every one of you. Bye.